Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I made a Fandango movie ticket buying chatbot in Voiceflow. So here's the overview of the flow right here, and I'm just going to run it from start to finish to show you how this thing works. So you select See Movies Near Me. It's going to prompt you to enter your zip code. It'll request what radius you want to search within, so enter 10 miles. It's going to return a list of movie theaters and display them as buttons so you can select which movie theater you want to search for. Then it will return a carousel with the movie picture, the movie name, the rating, the duration. And then we'll display a couple of buttons here. See today's showtimes or read description. So I'll just select read description for this one. Okay, the description basically just gives you a summary of what the plot is, as well as the main actors that are starring in the film. And then we'll return the Rotten Tomato rating as well. So at that point, you can either go back up and select another movie, or you can go down here and select see today's showtimes for that movie. You can select the showtime that you want to buy tickets for, and it will redirect you to Fandango's checkout page. So you can go directly here, pick out what seat you want, and you can check out in Fandango. So that's pretty much it, and I'm just going to go through block by block to show you how I built this. So the first step here is a welcome block. I just have one button here, see movies near me. Obviously you can build this out, attach more buttons, and make this a little bit more complex if you want to, but the next block is going to prompt the user to enter their zip code. So I have a basic capture step here, capture the entire user reply, and save their zip code into a new variable called zip code. Have a similar step over here, which is prompting the user for the radius that they want to search within. That's going to capture their entire reply, save it to this radius variable. And then at that point, we're going to have an API call. It's going to pass the zip code and radius into the URL. For the API that I'm using here, it's an API called Flixster on rapidapi.com. Rapid API has a ton of different cool APIs that you can experiment with. I found this one called Flixster, and the two APIs that we're going to be using for this chatbot are the two theater APIs down here, theater list and theaters detail. So you'll copy the URL directly from here. This is theaters list. So you'll copy the URL directly from here and replace the zip code and radius with your variables that you collected from the user. Make sure to populate your headers here and then capture your response. I'm capturing the full response to theaters JSON, a variable called theaters JSON. In order to test the endpoint and see what kind of information is being returned, you can send a test request into your zip code and radius, and you can see the data that's being returned. So guys, something I like to do with JSONs is copy them and paste them into this Chrome extension called JSON Viewer Pro. I find this really helpful to help visualize the information that is being stored in here and see the format, figure out how I need to parse it out and pull the information that I need. You can look at this cool chart format if you want. You can use the tree. So that's what I used, and the next thing we want to do is pass that information into buttons, right? So we want to create buttons that has a name of each movie theater, and the user can select which theater they want. Right, so we're capturing the information here from the API. We're creating these buttons. You can see for the buttons, we're creating, there's a payload that shows the name of the movie theater. It contains the theater ID and the TID. Based on the button that they select, we're going to capture that information, going to capture the payload of that button, and pass it into the next API. So this is the theaters detail API. Again, we're going to copy the URL and replace the ID that's in here with the theater select ID that we captured in the previous step. Make sure to enter your headers here, capture the response. We'll apply it to a variable called movies.json. Okay, pass that information here into the carousel. This will display the movie image, the movie name, rating, duration, and will also contain a couple of buttons. See today's showtimes and read description. They have different types defined. So the type for see today's showtimes is see times. The type for read description is read description. Depending on the button that they select, we have two different paths. There's the see times path. There's a read description path. If they select see times, again, it will save the information from the button they selected. It will create buttons that show all of the times. So some of this JavaScript in here is reformatting the time to a more readable format. And then it's also taking the information from the button they selected and passing it into this action called type open URL. It's going to open the URL that will send them directly to Fandango so that they can check out on that screen. If they select read description, it's going to open up this movie description block. It will capture the payload from the button. This is a response AI step which passes in the movie name and the Fandango ID, and it prompts ChatGPT 4o to provide a description of the movie plot, lists the actors who star in the movie, and give the Rotten Tomato rating. Based on the button they select, it will either pass them back to the display times block or into the movie description block, or if they select a movie time that they want to purchase tickets for, it will go ahead and send them to Fandango and in the chat. You'll see this condition block here, which is logging the type of the last button that they selected. Okay, I have a condition set here which says if that type is see times, then it will pass them back up to the see display times block. If the type is read description, it will pass them back to the read description block. And if it's neither, that means they selected a time to purchase tickets for, and it will send them to Fandango and it will end the chat. And that's basically everything. Feel free to comment below. Let me know if you have any suggestions or questions or anything like that. And I'll save the template for this in the video description as well so that you can customize it to do whatever you want to do. And yeah, thank you guys. Hope you enjoy.